Chapter 7, Lesson 4, Solve and Write Multiplication Equations. You will be able to solve and write multiplication equations. A multiplication equation is an equation like 2 times x equals 10, because the variable x is multiplied by 2. Multiplication and division are inverse operations, so to solve a multiplication equation, use division. Solve the following equations. We are always going to start with our line down the middle. Okay? And remember, a number next to a variable really means multiplication. So this is really 2 times x. Well, if the opposite of multiplication is division, we need to divide by 2. So here's how we show division when we're doing equations. Remember, divisions are fractions. So let's put a division bar or fraction bar to show division, and we are going to divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, which leaves us with just 1x, or x equals, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So now let's check our solution. We start with writing the original equation. We plug in our solution, which was 5. What is 2 times 5? It's 10. So 10 equals 10. We're good to go. Letter B. 3 times r equals 6. To get rid of multiply by 3, we divide by 3. So we have r equals 6 divided by 3 is 2. And for the check, start by writing your original equation, 3r equals 6. Plug in the solution that you got. Oopsie. And 3 times 2 is in fact 6. So our solution is correct. Letter C. 3 times p equals 15. To get rid of multiplication by 3, we are going to divide by 3. So p equals 5. Now for our check. 3p equals 15. Plug in our solution, which was 5. Do the operation. 3 times 5 is 15, which in fact equals 15. Letter D. 8 equals 4m. To get rid of multiplying by 4, we divide by 4 on both sides. Remember, it all depends on where your variable is. In this case, it's on the right, so I need to get rid of the number next to it on the right. So divide by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2 equals, and those cancel to be 1, and you're left with 2 equals m. For our check, 8 equals 4m. Plug in your solution, multiply, you get 8, so your solution of 2 is correct. 14 equals 2x. 2 times x, so we need to divide by that 2 to get rid of it. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 7 equals x. And for the check, 14 equals 2x. 14 equals 2 times 7. 2 times 7 is 14. Bring down the other, equals 14, and it works. Letter F. 20 equals 4c. Your c is on the right-hand side, so we divide by 4 on both sides. I get 5 equals c. For our check, 20 equals 4c. 20 equals 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20, and 20 equals 20. I'm going to take a moment here and show you how a check will not work. So let's take this again. Let's pretend that I got an answer of 4. 20 equals 4C. 20 equals 4 times 4. 20 equals, well, 4 times 4 is 16. So because 20 doesn't equal 16, I know that 4 is not a solution. Okay? So it's nice that we are getting the correct solutions and we are doing our checks and they work, but sometimes you might make a mistake. Okay? And this is what it would look like if you made a mistake. You'd get something that made no sense. 20 can't possibly equal 16. They're two different numbers. Okay? When you see this happen, then go back and see if you can find your mistake or do it over. Okay? So this is not correct. When you solve an equation by dividing both sides of the equation by the same number, you are using the division property of equality. Solve the following equations. Vincent and some friends shared the cost of a package of blank CDs. The package cost $24, and each person contributed $6. How many people shared the cost of the CDs? Well, we need a let statement. So let X equal, we're talking about people, so number of people. Okay. So I'm using X as my variable. Well, each person paid $6. So $6 times the number of people, and altogether it equaled $24. So there's our equation. 6 times X equals 24. Let's solve. We're going to divide both sides by 6, and we get X equals 4. So our answer here is 4 people. Now we should do a check, so let's go ahead and do that. Start with our original equation. Plug in our solution. Do the operation. And it checks out. So 4 people is our solution. Letter B. In 2004, Penn Hadow and Simon Murray walked 680 miles to the South Pole. The trip took 58 days. Suppose they traveled the same distance each day. Write and solve a multiplication equation to find about how many miles they traveled each day. About. There's our rounding. Okay? So here we go. We are trying to find, let X equal the number of miles they traveled each day. So it took 58 days. So we would say 58 days times the number of miles equals 680. So there's our equation. Let's solve. We need to divide both sides by 58. And it looks like we are doing some long division here. So I'm going to do this down here somewhere. 58 into 680. Well, 58 goes into 68 once. Subtract 58 and get 10. Bring down the 0. 58 goes into 100 once. Need to do some borrowing. And let's do one more so we can give an estimated answer. 420. Well, it's about 60. Let's try 7. See how 7 works. 406 looks like it's our answer here. So 7 times minus 406. Okay, and I'm going to stop there. I could keep going, but it said about how many miles per day. So I'm going to say about, rounding that up to the nearest whole number, 12 miles. So I'm going to say 12 miles. Actually, I should say about 12 miles. Let's do that. Let me squeeze in that word. Okay, and let's do a check to make sure we are good to go here. And remember, we rounded, so as long as we are close to 680, we're okay. So 58, this is our check. 58x. I'm going to use this symbol here, which means about 680. $58 times 12 is about 680. And let's do 58 times 12. And we get 696 is about 680, which is fine, okay? I want you to write the word about, or you can write approximately. Okay, that's what that means. So that's okay. Because we rounded, I know my answer will be slightly different. So that's good. Letter C, solve 3.28x equals 19.68. So now decimals. We still work it the same way. The 3.28 is multiplied by x, so we need to divide both sides by that 3.28. So we have x equals, I need to do some long division. So 3.28 into 19.68. Need to move my decimal over twice to get rid of it, put it up top. So 328 into 1,968. Looks like I'm going to have to do a little guess and check here. Well, let's say that's 300. 3, 6, 9, 12. Let's try 6. Doing a little mental math here. Let's try 6 and see where that takes us. Oh, look. 6 was perfect, actually. It goes in nice and evenly. So we get an answer of 6. And of course, let's check our solution. Start by writing the original. Plug in your solution. Let's do that multiplication one more time. I know we already did it, but let's do it to check. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 4 is 16. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. And move over twice. We do get 19.68 equals 19.68. So 6 is correct.